So a few weeks ago, I got a call, and it was a manufacturer in Savannah, and he called me and said, "Ben, we've got a problem. This tight labor market is killing us." He's like, "It's." We did a study the other day, and just to recruit a new employee is cost us $2,500. He's like, a lot of our workers are electricians, they're welders, they're carpenters, skills in high demand. These guys know they can go right down the road and get the same job, making the same amount of money that they make here. He's like, so the last job we did went really great, but we actually had a couple of people leave us. It's like, and it's costing me a fortune. He's like, what can Georgia Tech do to help me out? So I was like, it sounds like what you guys want is to become the employer of choice in your area. And when we help people to become the employer of choice, we really focus on some of our leadership development classes, stuff like communications and stuff and coaching for peak performance. So last Friday, they actually were going through their second class. This was the coaching for peak performance. The class was Friday. And then they called me on Tuesday and they're like, Ben, we need you to come in. We want to talk to you. They're very cryptic about, why should we come? So I went, I was ready to talk to them about the class, and they're like, listen, on Thursday, we had an incident on the job with one of our employees. Friday, we're all in the conference room learning about coaching for peak performance. It's like, so Monday, we brought the staff in and we said, you know what? We're paying a lot of money for Georgia Tech to teach us these skills. We're going to use them in this situation. So we took out the framework and we talked about it. How can we use this to coach this employee? It took us an hour and a half to kind of go through the framework and figure out how we were going to talk to them. After the meeting, we talked to them and the meeting went great. We found out that there were some issues that we didn't know about. We were able to talk them through them, and we were able to save this employee. He's like, so right off the bat, you saved us $2,500 recruiting a new one. This employee had 7 years with the company. So the experience that he would have taken with him could have been 10 times that amount. He's like, so we're already seeing success in what you do. And so my name is Ben Cheeks, and I am with Georgia Tech and the Georgia Manufacturing Extension Partnership. I have been researching leadership development and coaching for the past 10 years. I've been with Georgia Tech for the last 5, and we partnered with DDI, Data Dimensions International, to pull together this leadership development program that we do. DDI is an internationally known organization with proven frameworks that if you implement, you will become better coaches. So today's class is coaching for peak performance. We're going to break it into 3 sections. The first section, we're going to be talking about the skills that you need when you, to be a good coach. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to go through the framework. This framework is how you will frame the coaching discussion or the coaching conversation. Because really that's what coaching is. It's a conversation. So how do we frame up that conversation? And then the last thing we're going to do is practice. We're going to practice those skills, practice using that framework over and over, because that's how you really get it into your system. So the first one are the skills. There's 3 key skills we're going to talk about. The first one is building rapport. How do you create an environment where the person is not defensive? They're comfortable talking to you about the issue at hand or the coaching opportunity that you have. The second thing we're going to talk about is listening with empathy, right? It's hard to not stop talking sometimes, right? And to listen to our employees. Listen with empathy to understand their position, their situation, how they view it, because that's where the improved performance is going to begin from. And then the last one is questioning for understanding. So how are we going to, how can we ask questions to really understand, to really get to the heart of the matter or the heart of what's really driving that employee's behavior? So yada, 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 we're going to do this, and then we're going to practice some. That's the last practice session we have time for today. Do we have any questions before we wrap up? We definitely handle the questions. And so, I don't know if I got to wrap up. So thank you guys for taking the time today. Practice the skills, practice the frameworks that we've learned, support each other in this. And I promise you that if you continue to implement these processes, you'll have success stories for your company like the one I shared with you at the beginning of the class today. So.